All right, we're gonna start this off. Tonight, recorded live before a studio audience in Bloomington, Indiana, it's the 6th annual Mike Adams Christmas Special. Tonight, Mike welcomes special guest Oreo Balke is here. And as always, Louis Rogers and his magnificent band. And now, please welcome Addison, Rogers, and Mike Adams. Show for the Mike Adams Show. Don't you know? Don't you know?
All right! Hey! Hello, everyone. Welcome to the holidays.
They're here properly.
Here they are.
Wow. And just like that,
Yeah, it really snuck up on us since the
I-
last show.
totally surprised.
Yeah.
I anticipate a year coming before the holidays.
You what?
A year after our show comes before the holidays. I didn't even feel that.
I don't understand.
I should tell you this, Mike. It's been 1 year since we've been on the stage.
okay, now I get it. Okay,
There you
that
are.
makes sense.
And it feels
Yeah.
like, whew, where'd that even
It
go?
blew by. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I just want to, excuse me.
We've been investing in frogs.
Yeah. I want to apologize to everyone. It has been too long since we've done a show. It's
Far
been
too
one
long.
whole year,
Right.
which is crazy. It's crazy. We've really let you down, and so I hope you'll forgive us here in the holiday season. Thanks. Yeah. But
Awfully sweet of you.
it wasn't for nothing. It was not for nothing.
Oh, not at all.
We've been busy. We've been busy.
Oh, so busy.
My wife and I, the set tonight was designed by my wife, Jessica.
Oh, my God.
Doesn't it look great? Looks
Jessica
so good.
Adams.
Yeah.
A real wonder. So good.
She and I, this year, produced another child.
Ha! Congratulations.
Yeah. I think we have a very poor image back here that you can barely see.
Can you see? If you can't see, that's a baby up there.
Yeah. That's my daughter, Arrow. So that's what I've been busy doing
She's
all year
adorable.
long, raising that baby. So far, so good.
Funny enough, so you had a baby.
Yeah, what have you been up to?
I too had a baby.
What?
I had a baby.
Look
I
at
had a
this kid.
baby.
Wow.
Right there. That's my baby. I don't know if you can tell, that baby has a beard in my hair.
What's
It's
the name of that baby?
spitting image. Addison,
Your child that
a junior.
Addison Jr.
Addison Jr. Walker Johnson Rogers.
That's pretty good.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
I wanted to call the kid Junior, but my, I couldn't contact the woman who gave the baby a birth. So I was like, well, I'm going to name this one by myself.
So it was just you and the kid for a while.
Oh, yeah, for sure. You ever seen those road comedies where you're in like either like a bug, like a VW bug, or maybe like a motorcycle in a sidecar?
Oh, sure. Yeah. I'm familiar.
My kid, Addison Jr. Walker Johnson Rogers, in that sidecar, I was riding shotgun, which actually, now that I say it, you can, maybe it's both on a motorcycle.
And it was Robert Downey Jr. driving.
Robert Downey Sr.
Of course.
He makes the films. He's great.
Yeah. Pretty
But
good.
yeah, it's all of us just like being in the West and having a great time. If you ever have the chance to go out to the West with your,
Newborn child.
newborn baby in a motorcycle in a sidecar with a ridiculous name, boy, I recommend it.
That sounds like a great time. Did you document it at all? Did you have any kind of like
Yeah,
blog?
actually, I had a vlog, I had a blog, I did an Instagram thing, I live tweeted the whole affair, and then I also carrier pigeoned it.
Oh, that's nice. Who are you sending those to?
My great uncle in Australia.
Oh, I'm sure he appreciated that.
I'm sure all those carrier pigeons made it out that way.
It's a long distance too.
Yeah, but I was assured to the man I gave my $5,000 to that those
That the
three
pigeons
birds
would make it.
Yes, exactly.
good.
Is something happening behind me?
Can we take
I was
a
trying
moment? Can we
to-
take a moment to thank our sponsor, AXA Technologies?
Oh, wow! And you pronounce that AXA? AXA?
The lucky thing about having a whole year with no show is that you have a year to prepare for the show you do. And so that's why things go as smoothly as they do. Something's going very wrong. We'll deal with this in a while. But so that's what we've been up to.
Yeah.
I want you to please look over here for a second. It's Louis Rogers and his magnificent band.
Wow!
Hey, everybody. Thank you.
Lou, what the heck have you been up to with your year off?
Well, I was very busy with my summer camp, that I run for the kids.
Oh, for the magicians.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You started the summer camp up again.
Yeah, I did. I was on hiatus for a little while. We lost our funding for a bit, but now we're back on. We're making, a lot of kids happy and a lot of people impressed with our magic,
Wow.
Yeah, thank you.
That's
Thank you,
terrific.
yeah. Yeah, so it was a really hard summer, I actually I sprained my index finger doing some card tricks, but it's better now. And I spent a lot of time with a lot of great children and a lot of great mothers. Yeah, I had a great summer.
Wow.
That's pretty good, yeah. So
Yeah.
that was the summer. I mean, what'd you do with the rest of your time?
It's kind of funny. So while I was off, from the Magic Champ, I was staying at my home in Utah.
Oh.
And I
Out
was
west.
yeah. It's actually the summer camp's doing very well in the years. I wasn't doing very well previously, but I've got a lodge out there. Wow. And so I was hanging out, and one night, and I got a call from one of the children's mothers, and they called me, and she said that her child had been. He'd been in some tough scenario. She was saying
a youth
that,
at risk.
Yeah. She was saying that he'd been hopping trains and throwing dice and popping pills and playing dice and became a rock and roll freak, disco dancer, and most unfortunately, a horny whoremonger.
Yikes.
I mean, this kid, they said that he dabbed all kinds of shatter, glass, hash, nails, wax, soap, in the blender.
Bad news.
Butter.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
He was living, running amok. True.
Oh.
Yeah, he's running amok.
Oh, wow.
He was seduced by a devil worshiper. And which he said was, one of the most erotic and tormented times of his life.
Never let that happen to you.
And yeah. She said he was always vaping.
Oh, yikes.
Bad.
Yeah.
That's a bad scene, man.
Yeah, it was terrible. But he's better now. I brought him out to my lodge in Utah, and we did a lot of magic together, a lot of therapeutic magic, a lot of hypnosis. And I think he's playing baseball, and he's even playing the bass.
Oh, this is the kid. This is the guy.
What? Really?
Wow.
Oh my God.
Yeah, over the summer I taught young Glenn. Glenn's his name. I taught young Glenn how to play the bass and magic, and he's really excelled. I'm very proud of him.
Wow.
Wow.
Oh my God.
So wait a minute.
Now,
Yeah.
if
You're telling me you've been mentoring this young kid back onto the path of what's right.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I've been,
That's great.
taking him away from the devil worshiping and teaching him how to play bass and do magic tricks.
Now, Glenn, how old a guy are you?
you let me give you a mic, Sonny.
15.
Wow. That adds up. Great. Well, I'm glad you're back on the right track, and that Lewis has taken you under his wing. That sounds good. Well, congrats, you guys. Yeah.
It's no problem. I'm glad that we could share our talents tonight with all of you.
It's really nice.
I'm very proud of Glenn.
Yeah.
Had I known you were in Utah, I would have made a stop with my baby on the way out.
Yeah, if only. Yeah. If only you guys had been in touch.
Next time.
Yeah.
Next time.
Yeah. Hey, we've got a great show for you tonight. This show. It's great. Yeah. And I think, if everyone's okay with it, I think we're just going to dive in and get it going. That's why we're here, right?
Yeah, right.
I think everything's ready. Is that right, Jared? Everything's ready to go? Now,
Our lovely and talented producer, Jared Cheek.
great. Okay, great. Thank you, Jared. Yeah,
Wow.
let's have a round of applause for Jared Cheek.
Oh, Jared Cheek! The backbone of the Mike Adams Show.
I'm very excited for our first guest tonight. He is a musician, an artist, and, most recently, an award-winning entrepreneur. Let's say that. Please welcome to the show, Oreo Jones.
So mommy kissing Santa Claus underneath the mistletoe last night. So nothing stairs that I couldn't keep.
Welcome, Sean. Sean, Oreo Jones.
Hey, how's it going?
So we're gonna need some help here for just a second because we had some visual things planned. And now, as you probably know, this is a TV show that we're making, and you're the live studio audience. So I'm gonna refer to some things that you are not going to see. We're gonna edit all this out of the show, and then it's going to seem like when you react, when I say, how about that? And you're all like, oh, I say really play it up, really go over the top.
Really enjoy it.
Really sell it. And then we'll cut in the photos in the edited version of the show.
That's great.
It'll be perfect. No one will ever know.
Yeah. So should we start with that applause so we can go
Yeah, that'd be great.
seamlessly?
Yeah, please give us
applause. Get it up,
Sean Oreo Jones. Yeah, great. Something, Sean. Thanks for being here.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
I'm very glad you're here. I haven't seen you in a while.
It's been a while,
little bit.
yeah.
Something you guys may not know is that Sean and I went to high school together, actually. So at this point, there's a photo of us from the yearbook. Wild. Yeah.
You guys look so similar.
Yeah. Pretty good, huh?
It's amazing.
What have you been up to since high school?
Oh, quite a bit, actually. Yeah.
Yeah.
I made it out of Warsaw. Yeah, I
Good.
made it out of there, which
That's
is
it,
cool.
yeah.
Yeah.
Not an easy task.
Not an easy task.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. But yeah, I've been working on music and touring and ate some food since then.
That's very good.
Met some friends since then. Yeah, did a lot of crazy stuff.
Yeah, it's been a while. Since
Yeah,
high school.
it has, yeah.
You mentioned music.
Yeah.
You are Oreo Jones.
That's
and
me,
you're
yeah.
based in Indianapolis now, is that right?
I am, yeah.
Yeah, how long have you been there?
So I moved to Indianapolis in 2004. So yeah, I've been there for a while now.
Yeah, great.
Yeah.
Yeah, so let me ask you about this. You
Yeah.
just received Musical Family Tree's very first Acorn Award.
Yeah,
Is that right?
the inaugural
Wow, that's
Acorn Award,
fantastic.
Yeah.
For those of you who don't know, Musical Family Tree is an insane resource for Indiana music. It's an archive, basically.
Yeah.
And they also do some educational and outreach type things. But online, the archive of Indiana music and the web that they have woven together is incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah. But they gave you an award. Can you tell us about that?
They did, yeah. So it's the Community Leader Award, the Acorn. Yeah, it's pretty crazy, yeah. And I was very surprised. Charlene, who is like ahead of the whole thing, kind of pulled a fast one on me. And yeah, it was pretty cool. I got a letter from the mayor, Hogsett of Indianapolis,
Wow,
and
yeah.
Congressman Andre Carson.
No
yeah.
kidding.
I was pretty shocked. Yeah.
How did they alert you that you would be getting the award?
So Charlene texted me and said, "Will you go to this event at Pioneers, a venue in Indianapolis in Fountain Square?" And I was like, "I'll probably go. Yeah, maybe." And then this was like a couple weeks before, and then I think it was like a couple days before she said, "Do you think you can get there by 3:30?" And then I knew something was up.
Yeah.
I knew something was fishy, and then I saw some familiar faces of people I didn't think would like come to something on a Sunday in the morning like that. But yeah, it was cool.
So
it
they
was
did
really,
kind of spring it on you.
Yeah, they sprung it
that's
on
good.
me.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
that's
was very surprised and very humbled and flattered, and I really love Indianapolis and just the people I've met through music, and yeah, it's cool.
Yeah,
it was
that's
cool.
great.
Yeah.
The stuff that I read after you'd posted some things, and also Musical Family Tree posted
Yeah.
a few things online, which is how I found out about it. They were talking about Trees in particular.
Yeah.
Yeah, can you tell us what that is and why they would look to that as a reason
Totally.
to give you an award?
Yeah, so Treese is an annual hip hop festival that I started in 2015 in Indianapolis. Pretty much taking over the whole neighborhood of Fountain Square, like 7 to 8 venues, all focused around hip hop culture. There's a lot of great artists in the state of Indiana, specifically focused in hip hop, and yeah, Musical Family Tree initially helped. They were kind of like the training wheels with that. I had an idea. I'm not a promoter by any means, but it kind of just like morphed into kind of organizing this fest. And the first year it was pretty crazy. We sold out at like 7 in the evening, and we're at capacity. And then I was like, I'm never doing this again. I had my first panic attack. I always thought anxiety was fake. I didn't believe in it. And then then I was just breathing into a Burger King bag on the side of the road. And then and then it's morphed into some just crazy thing that's kind of like out of my hands at this point. We have artists from all over the Midwest and regionally in Indianapolis, and this is a very high demand of people that are in the scene, and the community is awesome.
I don't know who does it, but every year there's a compilation video that comes out.
Yeah.
That is like the Treese wrap-up. They're great. I love watching them.
They're so good. Cool. It's high energy. It's just
totally.
like in your face as hip-hop should be,
Totally.
you know?
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, it's great.
One thing they were talking about in the most recent one from 2018 that I heard people saying over and over again was, the Midwest, and Treese in particular, is drawing people from Detroit and St. Louis and Atlanta and, Cincinnati, wherever, Indianapolis in particular. But then people were talking about this Indianapolis sound that is sort of developing, or at least an identity that's developing in Indy.
Totally.
I wonder how you would quantify that.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it's kind of hard to describe, but it's definitely its own unique kind of identity, and that, it's evolved, and it's hard to just like put anything in a box, right? There's sounds from South and East Coast, West Coast. I feel like it's kind of hard to explain. You just kind of have to delve in and listen to it. And the cool thing about hip hop, it's so vast, and there's so many different styles, and people rapping about anime or anime. And I don't know why I said that, but you can rap about anything,
Yeah. Well, that's something I took from the videos, actually. It's just like the diversity in like style.
Yeah,
it's kind of
totally.
wild.
Yeah,
it's really cool. Where do you feel like you fit in that? Because I think the music that you make is very interesting and unique to me. It's kind of out there in some ways.
Yeah.
And I appreciate it for that reason. How do you think it fits in, whether it's Oreo Jones or Michael Raintree or whatever you're up to, White Moms?
Yeah.
How does that stuff fit in for you in that scene?
I don't know.
Okay.
That's the thing. I feel like I grew up like in our hometown. We had a very strong punk and hardcore scene, and I feel like I've always been really drawn to just like the energy and like kind of like the community in that, right? So I felt like I've had that kind of touch with my music as far as like my approach, doing everything myself and trying to figure it out. But yeah, I feel like I just get weirder and weirder as I get older.
Yeah. I had the Cash for Gold tape in my van for a
Oh,
long time.
yeah,
That's
cool.
Oreo's record, Cash for Gold.
Yeah,
Very good. Yeah. So speaking of what you're up to personally, you got a new record coming out next month.
Yeah,
Can you tell us
January
about that a little
18th.
bit?
Yeah. So Michael Raintree is a project that kind of morphed in the last year. I was going through a weird time in my life where I was just locking myself in my room in complete isolation and just making tons of music. And I was, and recently I've been living at the old Central State Mental Hospital in the basement making music as well. So I feel like the whole like theme of this record is definitely just like complete isolation, and it's something that I really can't put my head around sometimes, and I don't really rap that much into it, so I feel like it's just like another evolution of just how I'm creating.
Yeah, how has that changed for you over the years?
I definitely have been trying to have my hand on every aspect of a song. So this is like the first record where I've like playing all my own instruments and creating it from essentially just like a metronome click. It's a lot of loops and all that.
So I mentioned Cash for Gold before.
Yeah.
So how do you differentiate between the Oreo Jones stuff and the Michael Raintree stuff?
So I feel like with my approach to hip hop has always been kind of just like a avant-garde kind of like experimental twist to it, but I feel like it's just been even more kind of free form as I've been creating stuff lately, and essentially I just like I use it as therapy. This record I feel like I have this Raintree record too. But it's been pretty interesting.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
I can't wait to hear it.
Yeah.
The promo video, which we have, we'll drop in the commercial break here.
Yeah.
It sounds wild and crazy.
Yeah.
I'm really excited to get it out there, to have people hear it and see how they react to it.
I'm very excited as well.
Something else I wanted to ask you about the Indianapolis thing.
Yeah.
Do you feel like, with Treese, or maybe even outside of it, what is the sort of community like for making music, and in particular hip hop, in Indianapolis right now? Like, does it feel supportive? Does it feel large, or is it like a tight group of people? What's happening?
I feel like with any genre, any community, I feel like there's always an ebb and flow to it. There's some days where it feels like it's a utopia, everyone holding hands, and some days it feels like it's distant. But there are different lanes within, like the trap and the hood, street side of things, and then there's just like the avant-garde art rappers, and there's definitely different pockets within the city, which is very unique and what makes it awesome. But I do feel with Treese, it's definitely put a spotlight on the city, and who would have thought that Indiana would be like this like thriving community of hip hop, which is pretty cool to kind of like push that forward. Yeah.
You mentioned kind of like avant-garde hip hop.
Yeah.
I feel like the internet has kicked that door wide open.
Totally. Yeah.
What do you think about that? How does that affect Indianapolis?
Yeah. So I feel like and just the beauty of hip hop is that you can just create it in your bedroom with a laptop and like a MIDI keyboard, right? So you have people that are more comfortable just expressing themselves. The internet totally, for sure, has been a microcosm for that. And just I feel like kids and people in general aren't afraid to really express and be completely real with themselves and show that on the internet. And yeah. It's crazy.
It's like a new performative space.
Totally.
That's really, it's like a wide open field. It feels very unhinged to me at the moment.
Totally.
Not just in hip hop, but in terms of anything. Like, this new venue where people can find these specific niches to exist in, and I kind of love it. Yeah.
They rap about anime.
Yeah, that's right.
Why did I say that?
It's perfect.
It's the perfect example.
Yeah.
That's what I said. I was saying if I could sum it up in one, it would have to be anime.
That's it. Yeah.
Do you want to tell us details about the Raintree record?
Yeah.
When's it coming out? Where can people find it?
Yeah, so it's coming out worldwide January 18th via Medium Sound. It's a tape label based out of Indianapolis, and you should be able to get it like all your like streaming stuff. Having a release party at the White Rabbit Cabaret.
We've got the flyer here.
Yeah, by Aaron, the beautiful Aaron.
That's good looking.
An amazing flyer designed by our very own associate producer, Aaron Denton.
Yeah.
Not bad, huh?
Very good.
Yeah.
He's good for two things.
That's right.
But the bill of the show is really well-rounded. Dead from Chicago is coming down there. One of my favorite rock and roll bands, and Paris Ladame is playing. She's like one of my favorite rappers out of Indianapolis right now. She's doing crazy things. She's super strong and powerful, and I'm really excited about that.
That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're going to take a quick break. Will you hang around?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, great. Sean Oreo Jones, folks. Let's hear it for him. Very good. We'll be back with more of the Mike Adams Show's 6th annual Christmas special right after this.
Underneath the twist.
Special. 6 of these things. Unbelievable.
Number 6.
Number 6.
If you put 3 of these together, we get the devil. 666. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I've liked how much we've been able to inject Satan into the holidays this year.
I know. Well, hey, let's not forget, this all started with the pagans, right?
That's right.
We're talking about winter salsa stand. What do we call that guy? Salsa.
I don't know what you're getting at.
Salsa Joe. Salsa Steve!
Ah, yeah.
That's it.
Tonight
right?
is...
Is that how we said it?
Yeah, because tonight is Solstice Eve.
Oh, that's the one! Boy, I forgot how that wordplay worked a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, that came up during our one production meeting for the show, and we decided not to bring it up.
Well, I thought, hey, why not we clunk it up for about 2 or 3 minutes?
Yeah, that gives people time to get a drink and get back to their seats and use the bathroom.
Into the whole thing, right?
Yeah, that's good.
Holiday beverages.
But on with the show, right?
Oh, God. Good golly, guys.
What's going on here? Okay, hey, I've got great news.
Oh, terrific.
Big news. We've got another guest for the show.
Wow!
Yeah! Let's hear it.
That's just fantastic.
Our second guest tonight on the Mike Adams Show is a musician, a beautician, a magician, a statistician. Let's give her our full attention. Laura K. Balke!
Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer had a very shiny nose. And if you ever saw it, oh, you'd even say it glows.
Laura K. Balke, folks. Here she is. Hi, Laura.
Hello.
Thank you for being here.
It's my pleasure.
Oh, good.
This is my first. It's my first Christmas show that I've been to.
Oh.
I feel like I should get a pass because I live in Indianapolis.
Yeah, this is a real
But still.
Indianapolis-heavy show.
Yeah. Well, there's also the other thing.
There is the other thing.
So natural blondes.
That's right.
Yes.
Dye her hair.
That's right. The other thing that Laura is mentioning is not only are they both from Indianapolis, but all 3 of us are from Kosciuszko County, Indiana. You guys may have seen the viral video. Who can I buy like a applause-o-meter? Can we have a round of applause for who's on Facebook? Who here is on Facebook.com? A few people.
That gives you about a 1.5 out of 5.
I think so, yeah. So, as those of you who are on Facebook saw this viral video going around, the rest of you saw it on the evening news, which is where it originally aired, because you got to be watching TV if you're not on Facebook. But there's the Packerton Pop Machine. Who knows about this?
I do.
Yeah. Well, I always called it the Packerton Soda Shop.
Oh, that's
but
good.
we don't say soda in Indiana, right? We say
Right.
pop, so I had that wrong. But
We're pop
it
people.
sounds so quaint. But yeah, I would talk about like stopping on my way to Warsaw to get like a root beer, and people would be like, "Soda shop?" Yeah, yeah. Like everybody just knows.
Yeah,
it's
totally.
great.
Packerton.
Sorry, do you call the thing soda shop?
The Packerton
Let's go to the
Shop.
soda shop.
Yeah.
And
Well,
it's
yeah.
just the one freestanding vending
Yes,
machine.
it's the only thing in Packerton, so
Okay.
it's
Oh,
like
getcha.
it's to be celebrated.
Right,
It's
well, of
awesome.
course.
Yeah.
I'm not
Those of
saying
you
that.
who don't
Somewhere,
know, those of you who don't know about it, it's a standalone soda pop machine. Do you know what that is? I know payphones are gone. Do they still have soda machines where you push the button and the Dr. Pepper rolls out the bottom and
I
it's
think
loud?
we have one at Hillside and Washington.
Oh, great. Yeah, very good. So yeah, we
Freestanding
know.
right there. Freestanding.
Yeah. So
Pretty
there's
cool.
a little crossroads in northern Indiana called Packerton, Indiana, which is populated mostly by my family.
Whoa, really?
I'm not kidding about that.
Are you related to the owners of the soda shop? Pop
Let's
machine?
just say yes.
This is a bombshell.
It's a new development.
This is a bombshell.
Crazy.
Yeah, it's true. Most of the people who live or have lived in that little burg are my mom's family.
Wow, that's pretty awesome.
So now you know where I come from.
All right, yeah.
You know now the road that I've taken to get up here.
Yeah.
It's
yeah,
been a
you've
long,
come
hard
Yep.
Paved with
Long
soda
way.
pops.
Yeah,
Long way.
Uh-huh.
You probably had to have quite a few do they even sell Mountain Dew in that machine?
I
But,
think so,
You know,
surely,
for energy.
yeah.
Do they
to-
even sell
get you
Mountain
through?
Dew in a Packerton vending machine?
I always get root beer. Always.
Well, of course, you're a smart person.
I left out a detail, I feel, because every town's got a pop machine. Who cares? Whatever. This is not a town. Let me just stress that. Not a town. And this pop machine is is along the road in someone's front yard.
Yes.
I feel
it
like
is.
that's an important detail.
There's
that
been a
people should
couple of
know.
times where I passed it, and there have been people out in the front yard. I'm like, I'm not stopping, not this time.
Yeah.
I've never interacted with the people that live there, but I do like to support their local business. So, but only when they're not in the yard.
It's good. Yeah. Oh God.
Yeah.
I'll
What a way to
introduce you to
start.
them next time.
I would love that.
Yeah. My great grandmother lived right next door to that until she died
Oh wow.
in like 1997.
Wow.
Christmas time, so I'm thinking about the family a lot.
Whoa.
Yeah.
I hear that if you go there and purchase a clearly Canadian, that's a seltzer beverage, at midnight in Christmas Eve,
Oh.
there's one lonely but cheerful carol that comes down the road for you.
Oh wow.
We
Okay.
three kings of Orient are. And then the rest of it. And the rest
Yeah.
happens there.
Yeah.
Who's singing that?
That's your dead grandmother. She had
Yeah.
a beautiful baritone.
Wow.
Give it up for Mrs. Adams. Yes.
Yeah, he's wrong about that.
Okay.
All right. All right. This is. You know, I said we were gonna be editing a bunch of stuff out earlier.
No, that has to stay in. That was good.
That was pretty
That
good.
was very good.
So Laura, I brought you on the show here today. You do many, many things that I think are all interesting.
Thank you.
You make music. Laura hosts a monthly gathering at my home where she. Is this illegal for me to say this?
Probably, but go ahead. I mean, who cares?
Who cares?
It's semi-public anyway, so.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
Where she sets up a salon in my house and does
Yeah.
haircuts all day long.
And
Yeah.
it's pretty fun. The best part is when we rinse out people's color in the bathtub. Yeah, it gets
The best
it gets
part.
wild.
Best part for me is the next morning when I take a shower and the tub is so slippery that I can barely stand in it and I have to brace myself and
Yeah.
try not to fall down. Yeah.
I think there have been a couple times too where it's probably like splattered with like red or
Oh,
blue.
yeah, it's a real bloodbath
so
in there.
I'm sorry about that.
But believe it or not, that is not the reason I wanted you to come on to the show tonight. The reason that I wanted to bring Laura on this show is to talk about one of your very interesting hobbies that I love. Laura has a proclivity for wandering into abandoned properties
Also
And-
illegal.
Yeah. So don't tell anyone, please. And snooping around, taking photos and checking them out.
Yeah, it's maybe, I don't know, there's a lot of things I love and that are possibly more satisfying, but it's like the best feeling in the world. Like such a rush when you find like a time capsule or like somebody's jacket hanging on the wall.
Yeah.
And just,
So we've got photos of that. Actually, Laura sent me 16 photographs.
well, you could pick, it took me a while
But the
to
projector's
pick, and I
broken,
hope
so
don't-
you
yeah,
can't
yeah.
see them. Yeah, but I'll flash them on the screen.
Okay.
So if you just pretend, oh my God, that's someone's jacket. Good grief.
It's a jacket?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my. So it's a little tough without the photos, but I think we're going to be
It's fine, yeah.
Because one thing I want to ask you is how you find these places and what has compelled you from the start to wander into them.
Well, we'll start at the beginning.
Yeah, please.
I grew up across the street from an abandoned barn, and this thing, it was awesome. But it was sort of understood that we weren't supposed to go over there.
Okay.
The property owner did not want us anywhere on the property, but it's across the street, and there was a mulberry bush. So, like, our mom thought it was fine to go pick mulberries, and you're already trespassing. So might as well go, like, check out what's going on over there. So when we were feeling particularly rebellious, my brothers and I would go and kind of like creep around this barn. And it didn't happen very often, and thank goodness, because at one point it just fell over. It fell in on itself.
Oh my gosh.
So, but there was really cool stuff in there. Something I never talk about is I was a horse girl as a child. I did not own horses, but I was in Horseless Horsemen in 4-H, and I was
Wow.
obsessed with horses. And there was all this like horse paraphernalia over there.
Really?
So,
Oh, it's a barn. Yeah,
but
it
if I
makes
took
sense.
any of it, my mom would know.
Yeah.
She would just know. So I just loved sort of creeping around and like looking at the stuff in that barn. So that was the beginning. But my town, the abandoned things in my town did not end there. There was also an abandoned tomato factory.
Tomato factory?
Yes.
I
a
always thought
tomato
they
cannery.
grew those.
Well, they processed them.
Oh, I see.
But
Okay, got it.
however, yeah, they might have. I don't know. I actually don't know what happened in that factory. We always called it the tomato factory.
Hey,
Wow.
who knows?
Who
what
knows?
they're
Who
doing.
knows?
Yeah.
So my best friend and I, my childhood best friend, we used to go. This is by the time I'm like 12, 13. So
Okay.
I grew up in a town of 500 people, so it's totally fine to just go roaming around. Except this wouldn't have been fine had we told our moms, because this was incredibly dangerous. We're creeping around this like decades-old abandoned factory, and at one point when I think I was about 15, the factory was very sturdy. Except we liked to go out like on the roof. And I remember as a child, well, okay, I felt like I was a child. I was like 15. I thought I was, hot stuff. I was
Yeah.
like, yeah, we're so brave. We went out on the roof of this 3-story, like, most of it was concrete, but we were out on the roof, and I remember coming back to the factory a week later, and the roof had caved in.
What?
And that wasn't even the come to Jesus moment. The come to Jesus moment was when we decided it was a good idea to sort of wander into like this addition to the factory that was all wooden.
Yeah.
And so my friend is a few steps ahead of me, and she falls like hip deep through the roof. And I feel like I have to sort of, rush toward her, and so I fell. But thankfully, we only fell up to our hips, and we sort of were able to crawl back to safety. So I learned a lot. I learned that, you should never walk out on roofs or wooden structures that don't look that sturdy. I'm much more careful now, but
Yeah.
it was such a rush. I mean, after we realized we weren't going to die, it
Yeah,
was such.
yeah.
And we found all kinds of really weird, cool stuff in there. So I feel like it's just my whole childhood raised me to want to go snooping around. So.
Well, okay, so my God.
Can I just say, if I did that at 15, I would do nothing else ever. If I had to claw my friend out of falling through an abandoned factory's roof, I think I'd pretty be able to be done.
The problem was we survived. So
Yeah,
it's like,
that
well,
was the problem.
we can do it
Yeah.
again, just slightly smarter.
Yeah, let that be a lesson.
A little bit smarter, yeah.
Of course,
You
you were
didn't wanna-
15 at the time?
You didn't want to join my grandma's choir singing down
No.
the road. Well, that was one of the things I was going to ask you in general, just because some of the photos you sent. these are dilapidated structures.
I don't really go in those.
Okay,
no.
so that's what I was going to ask.
sort
How
of
do you
observe
judge
from the outside?
How do you judge the danger element with the places that you're experiencing now?
Usually you can sort of look inside, and if any part of the floor is starting to collapse, you know that's a bad idea.
Clear. Yeah.
But a lot of houses that have been abandoned in maybe the past even 30 years, especially the old stone houses that were just really built to last, you just have to watch out for wooden areas.
Well, that's what I was kind of surprised about with the photos you sent, is how modern some of the artifacts that were left behind were.
Oh yeah, yeah, and that's always fun. And I actually sent you the more aesthetically pleasing photos, but one of my favorite abandoned houses was not abandoned that long ago. Like, it was like you opened the fridge and everything was just rotten. Like someone just, and it was really actually incredibly sad. And I think that's why I enjoy this, because it's just, there's a melancholy. It's like tragic and beautiful.
Yeah, just like Christmas.
Yeah, exactly.
You're like the Santa Claus of this weird going into people's abandoned homes.
Yeah.
And just checking things out instead of leaving anything. You don't leave anything behind. Leave no trace. That's
well, that is there's a lot of people that do this, and a lot of people like to sort of stage photos or take things, which I am not about. It's like, just
they take
enjoy.
things?
Yeah.
Like some of that rotten food?
Yeah. You know, leftovers.
It's a long trek out to some of these places.
It was probably homemade. All these leftovers, they were in like Cool Whip containers and stuff. Like legit, but
for sure.
Just a little rotten.
I get you.
So you mentioned that there's like now a community of people. I guess it's this internet thing.
Yeah, so this is how I find a lot of places. I'm on all these forums and Facebook groups.
The chat rooms and the message boards for the...
Yeah.
So what's that? What is that called? What's the name of a person who's into doing what you're doing?
Oh, the names are all... The thing is, like, I love doing this, and I've always loved doing it, but this is, like, I think being, like, really in any subculture. The names are all terrible. It's like... people have photo books called like Autopsy of America and like Urbex for Urban Explorers or Rurex, you know, like they try to make it sound edgy with these names, and I'm just like, I don't know about that.
It looked like a lot of your photos were coming from like the Plains states. Is that right?
Well, yes, I have a lot of photos from all over, but as far as how things look, I just like the way things look out in the plains, where it almost matches the way things feel, where it's sort of desolate and solitary, and I just enjoy the way that looks with the abandoned buildings. So.
There was one photo in particular that you sent, which we'll throw up right now.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Smart.
Where it's just like a sea of basically a cornfield with this one place right in the middle of it, just standing alone. How far do you have to travel to get to a place like that from wherever the nearest highway is that you were on before?
Well, there's an interesting story behind that. So there was my childhood, exploring my town.
Yeah.
And then when I was 19, I went with my father to my great-uncle's funeral, and he was a Catholic priest in rural Kansas.
Okay.
So my dad's family is all, his mom's side, my grandmother's side, is all from rural Kansas.
Okay.
And so I have this history there, and so we went to his funeral in a very small town, and I remember driving out there in the middle of nowhere, and just like everywhere you looked, every half mile, there was something crazy and abandoned and cool, and I told myself, I gotta come back here. And so eventually I did, and I actually went and stayed a couple years ago. I went and stayed on my grandmother's cousin's farm out there, and it was super fun. She has like a 3-generation farm. No pop machine, but just like kind of drove around. And Kansas is almost like a rural Detroit, where so much of it is abandoned because the nature of farming has changed. Where before you could farm a small amount of land and be sustainable, and now it's like the farmers are farming. Like my family, their farm is in 3 different counties.
Whoa.
So, and that's one family.
Fast.
So yeah, people don't live in these farmsteads anymore, and they're all abandoned in certain counties. So.
Do you have a particular favorite thing that you've stumbled upon or found or seen?
So I think the thing that always gets me, that you see semi-regularly, is the jackets. There's just something so human. Like out by the back door, one of my favorite things I've ever found was just this house had probably been abandoned for 30 or 40 years, and these jackets are just decaying, but they're still hanging there. Like somebody left them there.
Yeah.
And, you know, they probably thought they were going to come back or, you know, go out and put on their barn jacket, and they just never did. And it's just, it always, like, gets me right here. I'm just
Yeah.
like, oh,
I feel like there's a part of that, too, with a lot of the photos where nature is sort of reclaiming the property, where there's big trees growing. It shows you the passage of time through some of these places in this wild way.
It is fascinating. Or when, you know, windows are broken out and, you know, the nature starts to come in via windows and doors, vines coming in. And
one of the photos you sent, I remember there was a Ouija board in the floor, or on the floor in the front of the photo. Did you not notice the Ouija board?
No! Wait, what?
Yeah. It's the one we're looking at right now.
I mean, I could have just forgotten what I sent you, but I didn't recall that.
Well,
That's
I mean,
nuts.
there was a lot of stuff in the photo. I just happened to notice that. But the reason I'm asking,
that's so
I'll
creepy.
point it out to you.
By the way, the audience reacted like that was a paternity test. And I should say, when you said there was a Ouija board and you're like, what? There was somebody, I don't know who, in the audience who went, oh. So I don't know if, like, that's the thing in the plain states.
The whole reason I brought up the Ouija board is because I was just going to ask, before we go to a break here, I wanted to ask about evidence of other people having been there. Because that to me seemed like, this wasn't left behind in this house. Someone was here playing around.
Yes.
Yeah.
I guess my favorite places to go are the places that don't have a ton of other evidence of people sort of messing around. Ouija board, which I didn't notice, would be something. But often you almost can't even tell whether it's just like the windows breaking and wind and animals or a human like disturbing things. You really kind of can't tell. It's like,
what if we go back and look at that photo and there's no Ouija board and I'm the only one that saw it and this is kicking off this haunting that's going to ruin and wreck my whole life?
that'd be kind of cool, but bad for you.
How was your relationship with your grandmother?
We like to harmonize. We harmonize well, so I think we're going to be fine.
Then you're good.
Is there a place people can find you on the internet that you want to tell them about? That they can keep up with what you're up to in general, because you're also playing music and you're doing all kinds of great stuff.
There's a lot going on, and I'm hoping to do a lot of things in 2019. So far as the abandoned stuff, it's really just been me posting Instagram photos. I do have some plans in 2019 to do something a little bigger than that, which I'm not going to talk about yet.
Sure,
but
totally.
But you can find me at everywhere at Laura K. Balke.
Okay, great.
So yeah.
Laura K. Balke. That's Balke.
Thank you. Yeah, I have to say that a lot.
Thanks for being on the show, Laura.
It's
been a real pleasure having you. Yeah,
absolutely.
Laura K. Balke, folks. We're gonna take a quick break, and we'll be right back to wrap this thing up. Thank you for being here.
Stop the presses, everybody. I got a big announcement to make. Just 2 days ago, a special friend of the Mike Adams Show turned 37 years old.
Oh, boy!
It's none other than local legend Lennon Beasley.
Oh, there you go.
Let's sing happy birthday to Lennon.
Birthday.
Yeah,
That sounds great.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Lennon. Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday, Lennon.
Very good, very good. Thank you so much.
very good.
Thank you kindly. So lovely. Hi, we're Busman's Holiday.
And you should come and join us on Patreon.
I think you're gonna like it.
because we're going to have lots of videos.
And lots of other awesome stuff.
And every dollar that goes to our Patreon goes to us making a brand new record.
For you.
For you. Everything.
Everything for you.
That's right. So join us on Patreon as soon as you possibly can. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I love you.
I love you.
I love you.
Love seeks a will, makes our world seem new. We are holding on.
Yeah! Welcome back to the Mike Adams Show 6th Annual Christmas Special. What a time! Woo-wee! Wow. Is everybody doing all right so far? Having a good time? Yeah, me too. Me too.
Thank you for being here.
I was so nervous I didn't eat all day, so now I'm hungry, but because I'm not nervous anymore because I'm just feeling fine. And I'm a little drunk, so
That's not too bad.
everything's fine.
I had a full coffee and then I felt crazy, so I had some nuts. And then right before we all started, I had a Lunchable.
Today's episode of the Mike Adams Show 6th Annual Christmas Special is brought to you by Lunchables.
Lunchables. They come in 2 flavors.
Yeah. Eat them until you want to stop.
Hey, so this is a Christmas show. This is officially a Christmas show. So I'm wondering if all 3 of you have your Christmas shopping finished. Where are you at on that stuff? It's down to the wire here. We've
Right, now, do you mean have I started it?
Yeah, all right. Oh, okay.
Because, like, I mean, I got the gifts together that were like, I don't even have to give the people. Like, I got gifts for people where it's like, they're not going to be there Christmas morning. But I'm still working on the main, and I got plenty of ideas. And I'm going to be shopping here real soon.
Yeah.
Do you know, does Amazon Prime get you, or they're right before
Guys,
Christmas?
I hate to interrupt.
Oh.
We just received a fax here in the studio.
Oh, boy.
A fax?
Yeah.
My goodness, what a surprise.
I wouldn't interrupt the show, but it's something that we have to address right away.
Okay. What's happened, Jared?
The Bishop, this venue in which you are recording your show and have recorded for the last 6 years.
I've been a fan of it for 8.
It, as of right now, has been sold.
Huh?
It's been sold. I don't know many details. I don't know.
We can finish the show, right? We can finish the program.
That's a bummer, but yeah, I mean, we'll continue on with the show.
Sold?
Now, wait a second.
Is that 7?
Who are these clowns?
I,
7. What are you?
Hey, what is this? What's the meaning of this?
we're not done.
Who's this guy?
Oh, okay.
Hey, we're wondering, we're in the middle of a show, and we're wondering what's...
No. There's no show. What are you doing here?
Well, there is a show.
You got 10?
You got your measurement?
Hey, Carmine.
Okay.
Carmine, don't worry about that. Rip out all that plumbing. It's terrible.
Hold it. Don't
wait a
rip
second.
Don't
We
rip
got a show
anything.
we're
This is
doing
not-
here. What do you think you're doing?
Yeah, sit down here and explain this to us, please. Bring that up here.
Yeah.
Don't let him sit down. I don't know what he's doing.
I just want to get to the bottom of this. He's interrupted the show and frankly ruined it.
Yeah, right. We doesn't even deserve a mic.
All right. There's enough noise.
Who are you? What are you doing here?
Okay, all right. I would ask the same of you. My name is WJJJ Grossnickle. And as of tonight, I am the owner of this property. Got the deed right here.
What?
That's right. I'm very sorry to be the one to inform you. I'm surprised you didn't already hear that.
As of tonight, so you've closed on this property that we're currently inhabiting.
That's right.
4 days before Christmas.
Well, I don't know what the calendar has to do with it. This is it's been in the works for a while. The city's on board. The bishop no longer exists. I'm sorry to tell you, Carmine. Oh yeah, that's
who's
that?
This?
10. That's Carmine. Union labor. What are you gonna do? Ladies and gentlemen, I'm the first to tell you that this is now the future site of Carmichael Tower. It's gonna be great. There's gonna be 8 stories of luxury parking, and then a couple ones for your whatever hybrid cars or whatever. And then on top of that, 8 floors of parking is going to be luxury condos. I bring all the luxury condos to town. I brought them all. The Dillon, the Dillinger, the Watson, the Ripley, the Smallwood, What else did I bring? Carmine, what else did I bring? Carmine. The fleur-de-lis. That was me. That was me. I was the first. I said, people don't want to live like pigs in this town. They want to live nice, and they want plenty of places to park. So I'm sorry to tell you, you're going to have to clear out of here. This is going to be a work site in like 5 minutes.
Wait, you got to let us...
Mr. Grossnickle, that's your name? That's your name?
That's my name.
Mr. Grossnickle.
Yeah, here.
Do you have no sense of decorum?
I got plenty of decorum. There you go. That's a card. You call me.
No.
If you're having trouble finding parking, we should build something together, you know? It could be beautiful.
As a rule, I do not call 1-900 numbers.
Well, that's going to save you money. I don't know why you wouldn't call it.
So you're the guy...
Carmine, just get rid of all this stuff. This is...
Wait, hold it.
This is an institution.
Wait. We're like 2 hours deep into this show, and we need to at least wrap it up. But beyond that, what you're doing is a travesty. You're the guy that's bringing all this stuff to Bloomington?
Yeah, I'm the hero that's bringing all this stuff to Bloomington. I think Carmichael Tower, the future site coming 2019. What do you mean? I guess you guys don't like luxury parking. I'm astonished. I was told you loved it.
At best, I have economy parking.
Have you seen his car?
No, I'd love to see it, though. You got my card. Do you have my card here?
I got his card.
Let me give you a card.
We can contact him.
Yeah. We have still some spots left in the Manor and the Dillinger. All right? So if you're looking at, an upgrade in lifestyle living...
I hate it. I've seen these places pop up. They look so rinky-dink. They've got these...
Oh, what do you mean rinky-dink?
Oh, it's horrible. It's horrible. They've got these shuttles, that go back and forth all over town. It's really the worst thing, and I can't believe you're the guy that's responsible.
I'm single-handedly. They're gonna make on top of this parking and the condos above that. There's gonna be a golden statue of me. It's gonna say, "The hero of Bloomington. We lived like pigs before Grossnickle." Like
That's
pigs
not
in
nice.
their filth.
Now wait a second. We are a community of art and life.
Okay.
And vitality.
Let me stop you right there, buddy. Let me stop you right there. I'm just gonna stop you right there. Don't worry. As soon as Carmichael Tower is finished, right here, there is gonna be plenty of ground floor retail, okay? There's gonna be a Chipotle Express. You can listen to Spotify. You look like a music lover. You guys like Spotify? You like Chipotle, right? Yeah, see? You can listen to it whenever you want, right in here. Right in here. Same thing, music, all right? Nothing says music like Spotify to me. And to Bloomington. Yeah.
Now, if I may be so respectful, Mr. Grossnickle.
Yeah.
May I call you WJJJ?
My friends do.
WJJJ, I have so little to live for currently. If you take this away from me, a bastion in my life...
It's all he's got.
What? Yeah. What's to say? I mean, I know I'm going to go. And maybe countless other vital members of this community might go too.
You're just saying that because I turned the Players Pub into a for-profit prison. Now, I can explain that. Now, that's a great idea. That was eminent domain, all right? That was something... That was something that just had to be. That was the spot for it.
It had to eventually turn into something. I'm glad it turned into something.
And that's why we're naming Carmichael Tower, because of that great Hoosier, Jonathan Carmichael, who brought the first for-profit prison to Indiana. Now that's just great. Boo. That's heroism.
Yeah, boo.
Remembered.
Boo.
Okay.
Yes, boo.
Well,
you know, I don't want to talk out of turn, Mr. Grossnickle. But it seems like usually there's some underlying problems with people who fester their lives with only the American dollar.
I think you're right. And
Yes.
I think it's important to emphasize, Mr. WJJJ Grossnickle, that this is the holidays, man.
okay.
Look at all these people who had nowhere else to go.
And nowhere to park, probably. Nowhere to park. You probably had to park blocks away, am I right?
They've carpooled. Many of them have carpooled.
It's tragic.
We're all here together, at least, if nothing else, at least find it in your heart, your frozen heart, to let us finish the show. And then maybe we can come up with a plan or something to save this place. There's got to be something we can do.
We're already behind. I said union labor, they're going to take forever. I really feel like we've got to start, now, or it's never going to happen by 2019.
This guy won't budge.
This is crucial. I'm sorry. You seem like a music lover. We're going to make sure there's a Chipotle Express seat for you. You can choose the station, the listening station. You can charge your iPhone there. It's gonna be great. No? What says music like The Killers being streamed while you're eating a bowl? Big bowl of beans and chorizo.
Now stop trying to tempt me.
All right, I'm sorry.
Don't tempt Mike. You know how he feels about burritos and
I'm in development. This is my job. I'm sorry.
There's just got to be some
good
way.
at my job.
There's got to be some way that between those of us on stage and those of us in the crowd, that we can somehow find a way. You're telling us there's nothing we can do.
I can't picture it. I've been in this business a long time, and I am dedicated to my job. I love it. It's really the only thing in my life. Turning
I was going to say, it sounds like the only thing you have.
Into luxury parking, luxury living. Have you been to the Dillinger? It's a joy. There's a doorman.
Well, folks,
I'm sure there's a door, man. And there's probably a parking spot, too, man.
There's more than one.
Don't try to talk that with me, because I'm an artist. Talk with me like a regular person.
Well,
even though
folks,
maybe you can't because you have no heart.
Listen, Addison, I think
it's just these people
you're wasting your energy. I think there's just nothing we can do here.
First it was scooters.
I know. I just don't think there's anything we can
do.
Nothing
before then.
We can appeal to the city council. Maybe they can help us.
Good luck there. I have bribed them all. I've stuffed their stockings. They love parking.
Weird. Well, folks, I guess we got to clear out. I think we just got to go. If everyone wants to start backing up,
Sorry.
We'll
hey,
start
come back 2019.
I mean, at this point, the only thing I think that could save us now is a Christmas miracle.
Huh. Yeah, right. What's that noise? What is that?
Do you hear that?
What is
you
that?
hear that?
Is that the construction thing?
I think so. Carmine, check on that. Where did?
Is it already? We should get out before. Are we unsafe in here? Oh my God! It's Santa Claus!
It's Santa!
Unbelievable!
Thank goodness, Santa. You should have a mic, Santa.
Yeah, you should.
What is going on here?
Well, Santa, I don't know if you heard, but this guy just bought the place and now he's gonna rip it down.
Oh, I know this boy. He is on my naughty list.
Ha! That sounds about right if you ask me.
No way.
Oh, 15 years ago or so to this very day or so, he abandoned a baby boy.
What?
Oh my God.
A baby boy.
Abandon a baby. That sounds
You know
like something
what
this
became of that
slime
baby
ball
boy
would
he
do.
abandoned?
What'd you say?
I said, do you know what came of the baby boy that he abandoned?
My Santa, your beard has grown in so thick this year. Let me know if you need any help. Oh, and you have your naughty list right there.
You're on it. He was on it because he was hopping trains, throwing dice, playing pool, living moss, vaping, running amok, using plastic straws, dabbing all kinds of shatter, glass, hash, wax, soap, butter. He was seduced by a devil worshiper.
No!
It was the most erotic and so tormented time of his life.
No!
He was a rock and roll freak, a disco dancer, and a horny whoremonger running with the devil on the highway to hell. Oh, because you abandoned him about 15 years ago.
My God. What a rap sheet.
And do you know who that boy is?
Who, Santa? Who?
Why, he's on this very stage.
Oh my God, my son. My 15-year-old son that I abandoned. I can't believe it. I can't develop any more sites. I can't buy any property. I don't want this. I just want my son. I just want my son back.
Unbelievable! Christmas saved the bishop! Unreal! Hey, thanks everyone for coming to the Mike Adams Show's 6th annual Christmas special.
Oh, wow.
It's been a real time. Thank you for being here. Let's all leave by singing together. And each of you pick up your chair and fold it up and put it away. Let's all do that together right now.
Why don't we sing Deck the Halls?
I love it. That's one of my favorites.
Deck the halls with boughs of holly, fa la 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 la.
See ya.